And my question today that I would love to know your thoughts on, maybe also the questions that come up, your answers, your ideas. So the question that I would like to put out to you first is, how do you differ between integrating something and letting go of something? What's the difference in your opinion? No ideas or thoughts to share so far. You can also, of course, feel free. Yes, Ranjani, would you like to share?
Yeah, hi, Jana.
Hi.
So, in my opinion, I think it depends on how close it is to your already existing belief system.
Mm-hmm.
We all have learned to believe certain things due to our upbringing and environmental and other, as you're growing up, so many different factors form our belief system.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever we are learning, is it something that we already have it in our pattern, or is it going to be totally new? I think letting go or incorporating, in my opinion, will be based on our existing belief system. That's what I think will be a start point.
Mm-hmm. So letting go, you would say, has to do with belief systems?
Yes, if it is something that I already don't believe, or even the possibility of accepting it is not there, then I
Mm-hmm.
will certainly let go. That is what I say.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. And what would you say, what does integrating something mean to you? What would that mean for you?
So if somebody is saying something that this worked for them,
Mm-hmm.
then if that is part of my already pre-existing system, belief system, then I will say, let me try and integrate it to
Mm-hmm.
see if it will work for me.
Okay.
Whereas if it is a direct contradiction to what I already believe, I will not even try it. I will let go of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now I think I got it, because I needed a second explanation. I wasn't fast enough, but when I get it right, then the question whether something goes along with your belief system or is contradictory to your belief system, is the decision whether you integrate something or whether you let go of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you. Yeah.
Thank you, Anjani.
Yeah.
Any other ideas? Yes, please, Madhu.
Yes, Yana, I agree with Ranjani ji. And whereas when it comes to integration or to implement it, I just connect with myself whether I reason myself and I question myself whether I should follow it or not. Whereas letting go, like the same thing, like if you don't resonate with what somebody is sharing or what you read or what you hear, then you just drop it. You don't take it forward. So
Mm-hmm.
integrating and letting go is again depends on what is on the plate, because um, I hear many a times before coming into meditation, like many of my relatives, they say, do this, do that, like just to please them.
Mm-hmm.
We used to integrate or implement it, you know, without liking it. But
Mm-hmm.
now, when you become more conscious and when you become more aware, you just listen to whatever they are saying, but you don't implement it or integrate it into your life.
Mm-hmm.
You just let go of it
Mm-hmm.
by and there.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
What would you say, like all of you, not only focus on Madhu, but everyone who would like to share? when it comes to trauma, what's the way to deal with trauma? Is it letting go of trauma? Is it integrating trauma? What would you say is the best way to deal with trauma? Is an odd expression, I would say, to how to cope with our trauma? Is it more letting go or more integrating? Yes, Madhu, please.
See, Anna, regarding when it comes to trauma, we cannot let go of it just like that, because first of all, we have to understand that we are going through a trauma, because trauma, it happens many times. Somewhere in some childhood, something had happened and we are in that shock, and there will be some repetitions that might be happening and we are triggering that trauma. So, like what we have to do is we have to address it, and we have to go to the root cause of it and then make peace with it, and then it is easy to just say bye to the trauma. If you just ignore it, it will keep on repeating. So instead, you just embrace it and you accept. First of all, accepting is very important, that you had underwent something for which these repeated things are happening, and then go to the root cause of it, and then just say, delete it completely.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. The question that comes up to me now is, as you just very beautifully said, that we need to accept it. So we need to look at it. We need to accept how we are also, and that, let's say, the trauma is there in whatever way or whatever it causes within us. And from there, we can let go of it. I find it difficult to differ between this type of acceptance and integration, actually. And the question that comes to me is, isn't integrating, for example, a trauma or a fear, integrating something that we kind of judge ourselves for, or that we don't want to have with us? Is integrating maybe a step that comes before letting go? How are your thoughts on that?
So I think before the fear and all these things comes up, the pain that comes up, as I told, we have to first of all address it. I know it is very difficult to accept, that we are going through it, and then slowly letting go happens naturally when you embrace it. Um, it happens naturally. If you don't address it, how can you let go of it? It is difficult for yes, there will be some fear that pops up suddenly, like when you are in that when you are in that experience of trauma. But then again, what is it that is stopping you? What is it that is making you fear? Then you question it rightly. Then you go to the root cause of it and you understand, okay, this is somewhere happened something in the past. So that's why this is happening, repeating to me, or I'm experiencing this fear, or I'm experiencing this pain. And then you question, right? Is it really important for me? Is it bringing any good to me? Like you put these questions, right questions. So then from there you just let go of it. It won't happen just it's a process, Jana. It won't. It's not like, first of all, we need to understand that yes, we are undergoing some trauma, and then we integrate something, like some lessons to it, how to deal with it, like how to accept it, and how to at the end let go of it. It's not just in one day. You cannot. It won't happen like that.
No, of course. Letting go always sounds like you throw it into the air and then it's gone, right? So that the wind will take it with it, which is definitely not how it works. Very, very true. Thank you, Madhu.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have two additional messages in the chat, and Anita writes, to deal with trauma, before coming to meditation, I was dealing with integration and sometimes also feeling the pain, but now I'm letting go of trauma. So Anita, if I get that right from the message, is that before you started meditation, you tried to integrate the trauma, and having started meditation helps you to focus on letting it go. I hope I sum this up correctly with what you wrote. Yes, okay, thank you. And there is another shared thought that we have to accept things and integrate with our consciousness, then it becomes easier to let go, just like Madhu said. Thank you, Sridhar. This is actually really interesting for me to share with you, or to hear your sharings and your experiences around that. And because I lately came to this thought that so many times I read about letting go in nice quotes and in books, and that letting go is the key to more peace and self-love and moving on in life. And I kind of had this thought of maybe focusing so much on letting go makes us forget about the step of integration that comes first, so that we really try to make the second step the whole time, letting go and letting go, in terms of giving more attention and appreciation maybe to integrating. And I wondered whether this could be the case. What's your opinion on that? How present is integration to you as a term, and you have a clear understanding what it is about? How clear and present is letting go to you? Is there a difference, or are they both going hand in hand?
Jana,
Ranjani, yes?
I think before even going to this integration, letting go in the first question of trauma, I think it depends if the trauma is caused because of your own things, like maybe mistakes, or maybe is it coming from expectations of others. There is a big difference between the two. So like Madhu said, if it is your own things that you're getting scared of or having affected, the trauma is there because of that, then it is much easier to kind of integrate and let go. But if it is caused because of expectations from others, then both integration and letting go becomes very difficult, because then you need to find the forgiveness and forgetfulness. All those things have to happen before you can actually let go of that past or the regret or hurt, because it was an expectation that you had from others and you feel that you did not receive it at the right time. So that is something, it is not easy to integrate or let go if it is not a self thing that you need to address. I think this is based on an experience from my past I'm telling, so it may not be relevant or correct in every situation. But from my past experience, I feel like it is much easier to work on things that is your own defects, but something that's caused by others, then it is very difficult to overcome that sadness.
Yes, thank you so
Not
much.
necessarily trauma, but whatever that sadness or the traces of regrets.
Exactly.
Things like that.
It might be maybe also not directly trauma, but disappointment, maybe.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ranjani Ji, for the sharing, because and there is no, let's say, this is not about right or wrong. There's a lot of life wisdom in what we bring together here, all of us, every time, and find a lot of value in what you just said, that forgiveness is a step that is additionally, or let's say forgiving others is a step that is an additional step when, let's say, the disappointment is caused externally, compared to when the trauma or the disappointment is caused by ourselves. Yeah, thank you very much.
Hello,
India.
Jana.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. You're talking about trauma, right? Handling trauma.
Yeah, let's say that. So let's say that today's topic is conscious integration. And I started with the question of how would you define the difference between letting go and integration, or how do you deal with things more by letting go or by integrating? And then we came to this aspect of trauma or disappointment.
Okay, I joined when y'all were talking about trauma, so I thought maybe it's about handling trauma. But let me give a few things that came to my mind. I don't have deep experience of it, but a few things, like my son who's now 26, but when he was about to join college and on the final month when he was about to go, after he saw his dorm, everything, his application got rescinded. So because he had not maintained his grade and we didn't see that last minute. So, and he was by himself, and this was a shock for him when he got that news, and we were not there. He was doing some internship. So later on, he didn't tell us then, but later on he said it was a big shock. He didn't know what to do. He just, he felt like he lost everything. Because that was important for him. But, and we saw he struggled. He came back. He had to apply last minute local college, what was there, and he's gone through it. And he's still bitter about it a little bit. It's there. He's not let go. But more than him, I think we as parents also have had some expectations, like she was saying, right? We had our own. We were proud of him when he got into it, and then we had to handle. If I was in the spiritual path, then it would have been a different state, I guess. But we did go through. We didn't know how to support him because we ourselves also were going through the shock. And even now, when the topic comes up, I can see my husband always feeling a little bit of, he hasn't let go. And I think I have done a little better job than him, but still. So that is the thing we went through. And it's not letting go is the problem, because it's always, and when he hears, I think he also knows that there's some disappointment and something in our voice, and maybe he also feels. So I think it's all way past behind, and he's already gotten a job. He's doing well. We should let go because it remains inside us like a poison without us knowing, and it eats us up. And it definitely has to do with expectations and things like that. So that's the experience I had. I'm still trying to figure out how to go. But when we are talking about this trauma and handling that, I've been doing a book club recently, Buddha's Wife. I don't know how y'all have heard or read. It's about, it's this kind of fictional story because there were not enough facts for them. So they had to actually gather the facts and then make the story. It is Buddha's wife, Yashodhara, like what would have gone through her when Buddha just left her and went for his enlightenment. Like he had a baby and he just, without telling, he left. So that is the basis of the story. So we took it as a grief cycle, how she goes through the shock first, the shock of like, how could he have left because she loved him so much and he just left and they had a new baby. And then she had to take care of, she couldn't abandon the baby. She had to take care of the baby, her in-laws, and the whole kingdom, basically. That is what is said, that she stepped up and she took that role. She and the mother-in-law, basically. So while just using this story as fictional part of it, the grief cycle was, we went through it. I was trying to share that picture, but it wouldn't let me share here. How, like you said, letting go and acceptance comes at the end of it, not at the beginning. You have to go through those cycles, right? You have to go through the anger. You go through that. It is spiraling. It's not like done. You just finish. It just keeps going back. You come out, you go back. You come out, you go back. And blaming others and then questioning others. Those are the stages you go through. And then finally comes that resentment, anger. And I mean, once you go through it, then comes the acceptance. But the solution for them was to have a group, like, circle of friends with people with whom you can share. So seeing other people that they have gone through similar situations helps us let go much easier. That was the basic understanding of this whole thing. So if you're in a similar kind of group, like there was a story of one mother who loses a baby, and she thinks, why me? Like, how can this happen? But when she goes and talks to everybody else, and she comes to know everyone has faced death in the family, it doesn't matter, that impermanence of death. And when she understands that, slowly that helps her come out of it. So I know it all sounds like knowledge in this, but we need to hear it at that time. So having a circle and then going through these, like we have Alcoholic Anonymous, the circle. So the author keeps stressing on that circle, like, having people to talk it out whenever you're going through something. Because then knowing that everybody has something or the other, you're not the only one, is the thing that they need to know. And it's easier to let go when you share with others, is what I don't know. I went all around and told you so many things. So I hope you understood what I mean.
Yes, thank you for sharing, Vindhya. Totally. And what I mean, I get a lot of what you said, and there was no going around in circles. To me, it made all sense. What I hear is that getting to this point of letting go something a lot of times needs us to talk about things, so to share things with people that own to hear our story. And from that, we are aware that they indeed get us because they have been in similar situations or places, so that there is a release of maybe the shame around this mark, this disappointment, this trauma.
Yeah. And knowing that it's like not just me, it's a common thing, right? And when we make ourselves, it's a bigger drama that we create when we think this pain is just for me, and it's like nobody else has such a bad situation and things like that.
So in a way, it is building connection to like-minded people, or maybe not like-minded, but to a group of people that have been in the same place or know my place from my own experience. So getting out of the, just as you said, that's interesting, right? Because to me came this thought of, so it has to do with connection, and you just said getting out of the this awareness that it's only me, right? So this is only happening to me. So switching from why me to I'm not alone makes a difference in how we can deal with aspects like that. Did I get that right?
Yeah, true. And then you come out and you may be one helping. I mean, there may be a lesson in there for you to learn and teach others. So when you take it as a lesson, and
Thank you, Vindhya. So what I personally take from everything we have said so far is indeed that I from now on will have a different consciousness about integration and the process of integrating, because as far as I define the words for myself, integration is the process that leads to letting go. and I will not focus myself on, okay, how can I let go of it first? Because for me, then I overlook the important step of what we just said in different ways, what Vinaya said, the integration by getting from why me to I'm not alone, the integration and the acceptance of here is this trauma, it's my trauma, okay, I accept that it is there. What Ranjani Ji also said, the awareness of first getting into forgiveness for others when it's external. And what came to my mind after that was when I need to forgive myself, that's integration too, that is acceptance again. Yes, and so what we are talking about here makes me a stronger believer in the idea of do not immediately focus on letting go, but focus on a kind way of integration, and letting go will come with this path of integration, I guess. That was a lot of talking. I hope you don't mind. Any other thoughts, opinions, questions on conscious integration for now? If not, I'm really happy. I'm looking forward to guide you into meditation now. So please find your way into a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down, sitting cross-legged or on a chair, feet flat on the ground. Clasp your hands, lock your fingers, and lay your hands wherever it feels comfortable for you. And with the next inhalation, gently close your eyes. Take a few moments to fully arrive in this posture. Where can you make some last movements and adaptations to feel even more comfortable? Let your breath come and go all by itself. And bring your awareness of the inhaling and the exhaling, the rising and falling of your upper body with your breath. There's nothing to do for now. Simply observe how your body tunes into your natural breathing pattern. There's nothing to do. Your body breathes you. Simply focus on the coming and going. With every in-breath, you soothe your mind. With every out-breath, you soothe your body. And slowly, step by step, there's a meadow appearing around you. Simply by following your breath, you change your location and find yourself on that meadow. And behind your closed eyelids, your eyes wander around on the meadow. What are the 5 things you can see, hear on your meadow? Consciously pick 5 things that you see. And what are the 4 sounds you can hear on your meadow? While you breathe in and out, what 4 sounds are there for you to hear? And sitting or lying in the grass, what are the 3 things you can touch when you stretch out your arms in front of your inner eye? sitting on your meadow or lying. Letting your breath come and go. Spreading out your arm, maybe your feet in front of your inner eyes. What can you sense? What three things? And focusing on the coming and going of your breath again. What are the two smells, fragrances that you smell when you inhale? Before you exhale. Letting your breath come and go on its own. What are the two fragrances you can smell? Looking closer, discover a little river running by. When you observe it closer, you see that it flows in its very own rhythm. Nothing stops the water from flowing into your sight and out of your sight in its own pace. And just like the river does, so does your breath. Flowing into your body at its own pace. flowing out of your body at your own pace. And while you watch the river flowing by, with every inhalation, you soothe your mind. With every exhalation, you soothe your body. Just at your own pace. Just like the river. With every inhalation, you soothe your mind. With every exhalation, you soothe your body. And more, you're fully present. How you sit on your meadow. Watch the river flow and thereby breathe. With every inhalation, you soothe your mind. With every exhalation, you soothe your body. Just like a river flows, so does your in-breath. Just like the river flows, so does your out-breath. While your body breathes you. With every inhalation, you soothe your mind. With every exhalation, you soothe your body. your awareness back to the meadow. Remember, what were the 5 things you could see? What have been the 4 things, sounds that you heard? What were the 3 things you touched on your meadow? And along with your in-breath, what were the 2 smells, fragrances you could smell? Take the impressions from the meadow with you now when you come back into the presence, the room that you're in. Bring your awareness to your hands and your fingers. And gently move your fingers, although they are locked. Bring your awareness to your feet and your toes. And gently move your toes. Lift your hands up, unlock your fingers, and rub your palms at each other. And now lay your flat hands in front of your closed eyes for a moment and experience the energy exchange. And whenever you feel ready, in your own time, at your own pace, lower your hands and open your eyes again. Thank you for joining me in the meditation. If there is anything you would like to share, please feel free, and if not, it's more than welcome to enjoy this silence. Thanks everybody for having joined this session. Looking forward to see you next week on Wednesday, because I can't make it Thursday next week. So I will be there on Wednesday.
Thank you once again, Jana. It was indeed a beautiful meditation, guided meditation. And as always, your voice has some magic that takes us into deeper states. Thank you so much, Jana.
It was a pleasure to be with you here with you. I think I wanted to say.
Yes, Jana.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Jana. Thank you, everyone.